This is called On the Way to Work. Time drags as minutes fly while I sit at a red light. The acid in my stomach could power the battery and run the radio, playing those awful pop tunes. Ahead of me, on oversized tires, looms a red diesel pickup with chrome pipes belching black exhaust. On the back window, I see a Gadsden flag and NRA decals, and on the bumper, an assortment of pithy phrases about country, God, and guns. Looking for a better place to park my idling brain, I drift in the moment of Panglossian rapture. Maybe it was just the diesel fumes. What a glorious time to live. We have the magic of the internet. It's like a huge communal campfire where we gather to pass on our mythologies and establish the identity of our tribes. We huddle close to the fire and take comfort against the darkness by telling ourselves ghost stories. The viral natterings of insane men fill the collective mind of the tribe so that a man who has never known oppression or hunger can find a reason for his fears. The light changes. I lurch through a plume of diesel exhaust. All right, I wrote this one this week. It's a little prose piece here called The Old General. I was sitting on a bench in the town square one sunny afternoon, reading the local newspaper, when the old general dismounted from his bronze horse and sat on the bench next to me. Up close, he really wasn't as big as you might think if you've only seen him sitting up high on his horse. I was surprised, of course, but I tried not to let it show. Generals are only human, you know, even the ones made of bronze, so I didn't want to let on that his presence made me just a little bit nervous. I just kept reading, as if I didn't even notice he was there. But the way he sat there, staring at me, finally got on my nerves, so I gave him a dirty look. "Oh, sorry," he said. His voice sounded as rusty as you might expect. "I was just reading the story on your back page. Sometimes I'm curious about what goes on in the world these days, but up here on my horse, it's all I can do to catch an occasional headline." He turned his head then and looked up at the horse. I followed his gaze. The great bronze beast was magnificent, I must admit, lifelike in every detail, but solid as steel. He stood there through countless storms, I'd imagine, but never budged. "Quite a horse," I said, in an effort to make some casual conversation. The bronze in the old general's neck groaned as he turned his head to look at me. I could swear I saw tears welling up in his dead bronze eyes. When he spoke then, he sounded really sad. "It's just a statue, not a horse." I didn't know what to say to that. We sat in silence for a while, and the general just stared at me, expressionless, like a statue, you might say. But then he finally broke the silence. "Do you know what I'd do, what I'd give to ride free now, to gallop across the plains this way or that? But I can't. All I can do is sit there and watch the world move around me. And it does, you know. It just keeps moving." The way he sat there, slowly shaking his sad old bronze head, looked kind of pathetic. After a while, he stood up and climbed back into the saddle. He was all of a piece with the horse again, back in the same old pose. But I think his head was turned a little, or maybe tilted just a tiny bit to the left. Okay, I'm sorry to have to do this, but I'm going to have to resort to reading old stuff.
Old stuff? That's okay. I read old stuff all the time. I am old stuff.
All right, since I did the old general, I'll do another statue poem here. The Bronze Hero. A bronze hero stands at attention on the hill. He will never hear the clink of gold coins falling through his fingers, for he has no share in the profits of war. His only purpose is to placate the living. No longer does he scan a field of fire lit by magnesium flare. He does not inhale the acrid smoke of phosphorus and sulfur, nor taste the iron in his own blood. He stands in the sunlight and a chilled wind clears him of all confusion. His face is cold as copper, and his body is heavy as lead. Uranium flows through his veins. He stares with unyielding dignity, surrounded by flags that whip from their poles in a harsh January wind. If I'd have done better. If I'd have done what I should have done, the way that I should have done it, way back in the day when this all begun and I was a-doing what I oughta not done instead of the things that I shoulda, then maybe I wouldn't have done what I did. I might have done better. Surely I woulda. Yes, I could have done better. I know that I coulda, and surely I shoulda. But I know that I probably wouldn't have. Yes, I know that I probably wouldn't have. I could have made money. I could have sought fame. I could have just tried playing the game. Yes, I could have tried just playing the game, but I think that it might have turned out just the same. Me hedging my bets and making my name, counting my chips and going insane. Like old Richard Corey just messing about, collecting my chips and then cashing out. I might have played and I might have flipped out, wondering if all of the things that I'd done, all of those things that they told me I should have, were really as good as the things that I wanted, but didn't do back when I could have. And now comes the part we all dread, where I take your lines and butcher them. Dreams. Dreams of life. American dreams, plucking blue sky heartstrings to vibrate with the dreams of we the people, not the dreams of corporations. Drinking the milk-white light of the moon, not the golden milk of a sacred cow. Listen to the melody of the rushing thunderstorm and soak in the silent rain on a red, white, and blue plain of possibility. Free spirits muse on the wings of Pegasus, dreaming of comfort as the rocking chair creaks in a world made of wood. Listen. Can you hear the AM radio? Be free and brave and step out of the car as it cruises and roll through dreams mired in the gears of night, building a prison of insomnia, being alive to be sleepless, weighted by accretions of pinhole existences, the living particles of the God within.
What?